Welcome! I am Kasedo, and in this video I share even more things that I wish I knew before I first played IXION. This is the third video in this series that I've made, so if you haven't watched the other two, then please consider watching those too. Let's start out with a tip that I was recently informed about and which I found extremely useful. You can click the available power icon here, and that's actually a button. And this gives you an overlay where you can see what buildings are powered off and what buildings are powered on, and you can see how much power each building drains. You can even use this mode to power buildings on and off quickly without having to enter each building separately. Thank you to FatimickFatFat for contributing this tip. Each sector wall has 4 wall connections on both sides, and I have assumed that they are direct tunnels through the wall. However, they are not. There is an internal road inside the wall, which means that, regardless of what entrance a vehicle drives into, it can leave the wall at any of the 4 exits on the other side. This means that you do not need to connect the road at the same points on each side of the wall, and it allows a lot more leeway in your sector layouts. Thank you to Necronster for contributing this tip. When you are constructing a solar panel, engines or external systems, your EVA airlocks stop repairing your hull while they construct. This can lead to some panic situations where your hull integrity drops to critical conditions. To avoid panic situations, you can simply pause the external construction in any EVA airlock, which switches all of your EVA airlocks into hull repair mode. When you have sufficient hull integrity, you can then simply resume the construction by clicking the play button again. If you need to move the Tiqqun, but you do not have sufficient power stored in your batteries to sustain the entire EKP movement, don't forget that you can power off buildings temporarily to increase how long the batteries will last. Of course, I suggest you combine this tip with the tip about clicking the power icon in the top HUD. Thank you to Jamie Lonsdale for contributing this tip. In another of my tip videos, my first tip was that you can build houses without providing road access to them. As many people have pointed out, the same also applies to batteries. However, as other people have also pointed out, you should also be aware of the fact that the knee-high quarter protocol tech upgrade to your crew quarters research allows your quarters to produce waste. Mid to late game, this is an extremely useful tech upgrade, as recycling waste will become a very important part of the Tiqqun resource management. Also, batteries can explode, which, frankly, probably isn't a huge surprise. So, be careful with that tip, and thank you to everyone who contributed to this one. This last tip is an interesting one for story reasons. The NAOMI Protocol nonsense isn't nonsense after all. It is encrypted text in Caesar cipher. I'll leave it up to you to use that information if you want. Thank you to UNPA Orne for contributing this tip. I hope these tips were of use to you, and that if they were, that you will consider leaving a like on the video and maybe even subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to check out my other tips videos as well as my Let's Play series for the game, and if you're looking for good sector layouts, I warmly recommend checking out JD Play's Let's Play series. You'll find links to all of these things in the info cards in the top right and in the video description below. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you success in your endeavour to save humanity.